Hello, welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about early retirement. You want to retire early and enjoy the many perks of no longer having to work, but there are some things you must know in order to ensure a happy retirement. It's an attractive idea to have enough money saved up that passive income pays your bills, and there's no need to work. You'll have plenty of free time to enjoy hobbies, travel, and spend time with friends and family. What could be better than that? You might be surprised to hear that early retirement isn't what you think. Make sure to be prepared so you can make the most of the time you work so hard for. My name is William, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Money isn't a priority. Assuming you have enough money to pay your bills, money won't be your primary concern, possibly for the first time in your adult life. While money is still an important factor of retirement, it won't play as big of a role in your journey after you quit working than it did when you were working full-time. During the years and decades leading up to retirement, your goal was to amass a nest egg that will fund your retirement rather quickly. You made it a habit to save money wherever possible, so you reap the rewards of it in the future. Once you retire, your focus is going to change and will no longer be geared towards amassing as much money as possible. Deciding to retire is essentially deciding you don't need any more money, and you're content seeing your finances level off. It takes a huge mindset shift to go from trying to build wealth as quickly as possible to withdrawing money from your portfolio and no longer seeing it grow like it did before. Your schedule won't be what you think. No one thinks they're going to have trouble staying busy once they retire, but the realization that it's actually a challenge to stay occupied. That it takes practice to fill up your schedule is a real one. There's only so much golf you can play, so many books you can read, and so much cooking you can do before you get sick of the same old thing. Despite what you believe, chances are good that you're going to get sick of traveling and living a life entirely of leisure. It's a shock for someone who previously worked 40+ hours per week when they no longer work at all. When you're still working, it's extremely easy to fill up your free time because you only have a little bit of it. Adjusting can be challenging, and it will vary from person to person. For some, it might only take a couple of days. For others, it could be a couple of months or years. Some people will never adjust, and the schedule of a retiree will eventually drive them back to work. You'll probably go back to work. There's nothing wrong with returning to the workplace. If early retirement wasn't what you thought, perhaps you experienced what you wanted to and no longer care about the free time. How would you have known what early retirement would be like without trying it? Going back to work doesn't mean crawling back to your old boss and begging them to give your old job back that you absolutely hated. For most, going back to work means trying a new venture, such as starting a business that you wouldn't have had the time or resources to work on before. It's much more enjoyable with less pressure when your future isn't dependent on its success. Getting back to work could just mean working a part-time job to help fill up a few days per week. Don't be surprised if you retire, and due to various reasons, you find yourself back in the workforce to some degree. You'll want your income to increase. You're not going to be happy if your income doesn't increase at least slightly every year after adjustments for inflation. Who would want to retire on a budget and come to the realization that they're stuck pinching pennies for the rest of their life? In other words, you should plan your retirement so you'll have more buying power each year to increase your lifestyle if you choose. Early retirees are usually able to retire early because they are frugal. Being frugal and not wasting money is an excellent habit that everyone should implement. But you don't want to retire on a lean income in your 30s and be stuck with stagnant buying power until you're 90 years old. Instead of planning on withdrawing the maximum amount your portfolio will allow, takes slightly less. For example, if you found 4% to be a safe withdrawal rate, consider only withdrawing 3% or so, resulting in an increase in buying power every year. You're sacrificing the power of compound interest. It's well known that the longer you're able to leave money invested, the larger and quicker it will grow due to the power of compounding. When you're invested for a long period of time, getting rich becomes much easier as the interest on your investments far exceed what you can personally see. Safe. Once you retire, you're giving up that exponential growth as you begin to withdraw money from your investments. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as you'll need to do it eventually, unless you want to work until the day you die. It's just something to be aware of. Let's say you have $1 million invested and you're going to retire and begin living off the gains. If you had left that $1 million alone in an S&P 500 fund, earning average returns of 10%, it would grow to $2 million in about 7 years and $4 million in about 14 years. You need to accept the fact that when you begin taking money from your investments, you're sacrificing the power of compound interest. You'll have more time to spend money. You're either earning money or you're spending it. Since you're no longer working, you have much more time to spend money. So planning for this is critical to ensuring you have enough money to comfortably retire, without worrying about going broke. A typical rule of thumb is that you'll spend 80% as much during retirement as you did when you were working, but this can be misleading. Compare someone who works full-time to someone who is retired. The worker only has a little bit of time before and after work during the week and a couple of days on the weekend to spend money. This schedule leaves little time to spend on a weekend away on meals, shopping on Amazon, and grocery shopping. The retiree has all the time in the world to spend money on rounds of golf, lunches out, taking trips, going to museums, and they have more time to look around the house and plan renovations. Retirees do generally see some costs decrease during retirement, but it's a good idea to allow for an increase in disposable spending. You'll need to make new friends. When you retire early, you'll find that your friends and family aren't going to be around much if they're still working full-time jobs. When you are working, your schedule's matched up nicely, but now it seems like they're never around. This could lead you to feel bored and lonely if you don't find a way to stay social. While you have the luxury of taking a last-minute vacation, playing a midweek round of golf, or heading to happy hour, your friends won't have that option as they're spending their week working. They might be available on the weekends, but they probably have chores and errands to do, are tired from working all week, and are reluctant to plan activities with your well-rested self. If you find new friends, they're likely to be much older, because they're the ones with the schedules that allow them to golf during the week and meet for happy hour at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Take a look at what your social life will look like during early retirement and understand that it won't be the same. Everyone is so quick to point out the positives of retiring early, and while there are many without realistic expectations, it simply won't be what you dreamed of. Early retirement takes years of hard work and dedication, and retiring early will cost a lot of money. For these reasons, in addition to others, you want to do what you can to make sure it's an enjoyable endeavor. For those who know what to expect, it will be a great time in their life, but those who are unprepared in more ways than one will be disappointed when they realize it's not what they thought. Let me know in the comment what you think about this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. It helps YouTube algorithm in suggesting this video to more people.